The taste of freedom. When I saw my husband kissing a young woman I didn't know, my heart refused to believe it. No, I told myself, it must be a mistake. The streetlight flickered above them, her hair catching the glow as his hand lingered on her waist. My throat went dry. I turned away before they could see me, before the truth could burn me completely. The next day, I met that same girl at a late-night café. She was working behind the counter, smiling softly. "Would you like some coffee for the night?" she asked kindly. Her voice trembled just slightly, and for a strange reason, I felt warmth toward her. She reminded me of someone, my daughter, who had passed away years ago. That same innocence, that same light. When she saw tears glisten in my eyes, she quickly handed me a napkin. "You seem like a kind person," I murmured. She smiled, unsure what to say. Before I left, she gently touched my arm. "If something's bothering you, sometimes it helps to talk," she said. That's how I began meeting her again and again. Her name was April. She was thoughtful, cheerful, and open in a way I had long forgotten how to be. We became friends, though I never told her who I really was, the wife of the man she was secretly seeing. One night, while we were sitting by the window after closing, she confessed something. "My boyfriend's married," she whispered. "But he says his wife doesn't love him anymore. He says she stopped caring, stopped being interesting." Her words cut deep. I couldn't breathe. I realized she was talking about my husband, Ethan. April didn't know. She spoke freely, and I listened, each word slicing into my heart. "Married women forget men need more than meals and clean shirts," she said. "They forget to change, to surprise. They stop shining." That night I lay awake, her words echoing in my head. Had I really forgotten how to shine? The next morning, I stood in front of the mirror for the first time in years. My hair hung dull and lifeless. My old dresses looked like ghosts of a woman I used to be. Something inside me shifted. I went to a salon and asked for a completely new look. I bought a dress that hugged my body, heels I hadn't worn in a decade, and perfume that smelled like confidence. That evening, when Ethan came home, I waited, heart pounding. He didn't notice. Not the hair, not the dress, not me. Instead, he frowned at the dinner table. "Why did you spend so much money on that dress?" he asked coldly. Something inside me broke. I realized it wasn't just about the dress or April. It was about me. I had built my whole world around him, while he barely looked at me anymore. That night, after he fell asleep, I packed my things. No tears, no screaming, just quiet resolve. I left a note. "Don't look for me. I need to remember who I am." A year passed. I live by the ocean now. The waves are my alarm clock. The smell of roasted coffee fills my mornings. I opened a small cafe called April and Me. People ask about the name sometimes. I just smile. The beginning was hard. I didn't know how to run a business, but I knew how to listen, and that turned out to be my greatest strength. Every day, someone sat across from me, sharing their story about love, betrayal, loss, or rediscovery. One evening, just as the sun was melting into the horizon, the doorbell chimed. I looked up and froze. It was Ethan. He looked older, worn. There was no arrogance left in his eyes, only something quiet, maybe regret. "You've changed," he said softly. "I finally became myself," I answered. We sat in silence for a while. The air smelled of caramel and sea salt. "I lost you because I didn't understand what I had," he said. I looked at him, no hatred left, just peace. "You didn't lose me," I said. "You set me free." He nodded slowly, then glanced at the sign behind me. "Why call it April and Me?" he asked. "Because without her," I said with a faint smile, "I might never have found myself." Just then, the door opened again. April walked in. She froze when she saw him. The world seemed to hold its breath, but this time there was no pain, no jealousy, only quiet understanding. "I didn't know you were here," she said to me softly. "Now you do," I replied. "Maybe that's the point." She placed a cup of coffee in front of him. "No sugar, like you prefer," she murmured, her voice shaking. He looked at her, then back at me. and something in his eyes told me he finally understood what it means to lose everything that once mattered. He stood up, left money on the table, and walked away, without another word. April and I sat together for a long time. "I thought I ruined your life," she said. "You helped me rebuild it," I replied. From that day, April became part of the café. At first, she helped part-time. Later, she became my partner. We weren't rivals anymore. We were survivors of the same storm. Women often come into our café with eyes full of exhaustion and heartbreak. We recognize them instantly. We pour their coffee, smile, and say, "This isn't the end. It's just the first taste of freedom." Months later, a magazine featured our story. 2 women, one past, and a café that heals broken hearts. Messages poured in from women all over the world. "Your story gave me strength. You made me believe in myself again." One evening, after closing, April asked, "Do you think they'll remember us?" I looked at the glowing sign outside, "April and me, coffee, courage, and second chances." I smiled. "If even one woman finds her strength because of us," I said, "they already have." We stepped outside together. The sea breeze wrapped around us. And for the first time in years, I felt truly alive, not as someone's wife, not as someone's mistake, but as a woman who finally learned the taste of freedom.